I'm gonna be honest with
Yes,
you.
I
I ain't
like
gonna
that.
lie to you,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you the truth. This way. Hello there, welcome to So Sweet Sundays. I'm Sweets, and today I have an amazing guest with me, and she is going to introduce herself. She is
Hello, my name is MBULU, and I'm happy to be here.
okay, and we're just gonna sit down and chittity chat, chat, chat. Y'all know how I like to do. Just about her journey. She has an amazing story. Just being through some things and overcome a lot of things, um, and has learned this relationship as you continue to navigate a relationship with God and learning out more and more yourself. Um, so we're just gonna sit down and kind of throw some things around. And I know her from working. I know you from work. Um, and it was just like we there was something that needed to be done. I think you needed help in on the computer or something like that. And then I came
Yes.
and helped you.
Yes.
And then from there we just started talking and
Yes.
just built a bond from there and just being solid from there, Um, just all together. Like you never know who somebody is until you have an opportunity to talk to them. And it was just like, wow, she had the sweet. Wow, she dope. Wow, she went through a lot of things. Wow, my God, like, dang, she's strong. Like, that's I thought like, dang, she's strong. Like, I'm like, we got a little Wonder Woman in the building. And so it's just like your story about some of the things that you had gone through were like so amazing. And it's like you're not even bitter. That is the amazing thing for me is that you're not bitter. Where were you born at?
I was born in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh wow.
My mom was in college at the time, so she was a college student and had me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was a preemie, so I was in the incubator in the hospital, hospitalized for different, like underdeveloped lungs,
Right.
breathing difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother came to tend to me in the
Okay.
hospital.
Okay.
She's from Lawton, Oklahoma.
Oh wow.
So when I was able to leave the hospital, they decided that my mom would stay in school
Okay.
there in Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandmother would take me to Lawton, Oklahoma to care for me.
Okay.
So I was reared in Lawton, Oklahoma, and
Okay.
eventually, after those 4 more years,
Okay.
at about 5, I came to Sacramento to live with my mom, she had transitioned to here to go to nursing school. She
Okay.
graduated college and wanted to continue nursing school out here and have a job. So
Okay.
she was in nursing school and going to school.
Okay. So when you were 5, did your granny come down with you? Because was it just you and your mom or
Yes, my grandmother did travel down here to,
Mhm.
make the transition,
Yeah.
and stayed a little while
Mm-hmm.
until, I was comfortable, my mother was comfortable.
Okay.
So
Was it a
yes.
big do you remember any of that time? Because you know how
In what
sometimes when you're
aspect?
young.
I remember a lot, but
Okay.
anything in specifically?
No, just like because sometimes, like as a child, sometimes we don't remember certain memories. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? So,
yeah.
do you remember actually coming out here at that age or no?
What I remember at that age is my mom and my grandma were like superheroes in my mind,
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
So I thought very highly of them both.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they could do no wrong in my eyes.
Oh, wow.
When people would ask me my name, I would include my name, my mom's name, and my granny's name, because I'm 3 in 1.
Right.
But I just remember that she was magnified greater, even though I had no remembrance of interaction with her.
Okay.
The idea of her was very,
Oh, wow.
very much like a superhero.
Did that come from your grandmother helping you just remember always who your mom was and what she was doing and, all of that kind of stuff?
I don't really know. I just think as a child, you just think the best of your parent.
Okay. Okay.
Even when you don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
So the idea just was big and huge.
Oh, wow.
My mom's
Okay.
name is Joy.
Okay.
So and my grandmother's name is Granny.
Okay.
So my name.
So how
my,
did you introduce
yeah,
yourself?
and my family name is Kiki.
Okay.
So my name was Kiki Joy Granny. Crazy but
Oh
true.
God.
Yeah.
How long was you Kiki Joy Granny?
I don't know, probably till the transition happened because
That is
now I'm in
hilarious.
her presence,
Uh-huh.
and Granny's gone. So
Yeah.
now,
Mm-hmm.
it's just me and her. So,
Was it a hard thing to let your granny leave like that? Were you devastated?
I don't remember
Okay.
being devastated because what became the highlight of my new life
Mm-hmm.
is I had everything that I wanted:
Okay.
toys, clothes, shoes.
Yeah.
Because as a mother, my mom provided everything that a child could ever want.
Wow.
So whatever I missed
Mm-hmm.
or whatever trauma should have occurred,
Yeah.
it didn't because I had everything.
Okay.
Whereas back in Oklahoma, it was so many of us. I have aunties and uncles and
Mm-hmm.
cousins that are my age and that
Yeah.
my grandmother raised. We didn't. I don't recall having things of my own or
Mm-hmm.
too much of this. Because
Mm-hmm.
life was it wasn't as we were poor,
Okay.
just to keep
Yeah.
it real.
Right.
We was poor out there.
Yeah.
We lived in the projects and that's
Mm-hmm.
just what it was.
Right.
But there was a lot of love,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of affection. So, I didn't thirst for anything because
Yes.
all that love was there.
Yeah.
So regardless if I didn't have no toys, I had this auntie, this uncle, this cousin to play with,
Mm-hmm.
And I just had the great love of my grandma. She was
Mm.
my everything back
Yeah.
then. And I was so spoiled rotten by her,
Yeah. So did you even realize you were poor at that time
No.
because there was
Mm-mm.
no lack?
No, I
Okay.
didn't realize it.
See, isn't that amazing what love can do for you and to
Mm-hmm.
you and what lens you see it out of?
Mm-hmm.
That is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when you got to California
Mm-hmm.
and your granny left back,
Mm-hmm.
it was only just you and mom.
Yes.
Are you the only child?
At that time I was the only child.
Okay. And how long was it before you actually had a sibling?
Let's see. In that little bit of time that I transitioned to Sacramento with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a lot of time for us to bond.
Okay.
There was no sit down time. There was no put it like this: the way that she engaged was very different from how my grandmother engaged.
Right.
My grandmother was love and hugs,
Mm-hmm.
time, attention,
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the lap. My mom was more so of a worker, working hard. She didn't have time to do
Right.
that.
Right.
As long as there's food on the table,
Mm-hmm.
clothes on your back,
Right.
everything is fine.
Yeah.
But the engagement wasn't there. The
Yeah.
affection wasn't there.
Okay.
But I knew that she loved me,
Mm-hmm.
and that was displayed through the taking care of.
Yeah.
That was superb. I give her a standing ovation.
Yeah.
So shortly after that, she met my stepfather.
Okay.
So I think I was about almost 6.
Okay.
Then a year after that, my brother came along.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I'm 7 years older than that particular brother.
Okay.
And then 16 years later,
Wow.
I think I was about 15, 16 when my next brother was born.
No way.
Yes.
That's a long
That's
time.
a long time.
I would have said I'm packed up, honey. We're done.
Yes.
I'm backed up.
So I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
But as I've been on my journey of healing and working on myself and
Mhm.
learning new knowledge,
Yeah.
I have learned that when you have siblings that far apart in age from you,
Mm-hmm.
there's no real bonding because
Yeah.
because like when I was 7, he's a baby. When I'm
Yeah.
14, he's 7.
Yeah.
And so they call that what I had it in my mind. It said you're only child with siblings. That's what they
Yeah.
call it in the therapeutic
Oh
field.
wow.
Yeah.
Really? That is kind of
Be-
interesting.
because
But
because
it makes sense.
the dynamics are you're an only child,
Yeah.
even though you got these 2
Yeah.
brothers. So there wasn't a lot of bonding, a closeness, friendships like brothers and sisters have.
So you're the only girl.
I'm the only girl.
Okay.
Mm.
So when growing up and there's kind of a culture shock, if you will,
Mhm.
because even though grandma provided love and kindness and nourishing and hug and affection, there was a financial lack, but you didn't feel it because there was so much love and warmth there, and it's not needed as long as you have the essentials. You're okay,
Right.
But then when you go home to mom and she is now a single mom and she has to provide, and she doesn't have the time for the warm, fizzy fuzzies, do you then feel the lack of warmth? Did it make you crave for um, greater times like with your grandma?
Not at that time, but later in my life, like in my preteen years and teenage years,
Okay.
it began to manifest itself with, my fighting at school, getting
Mm-hmm.
suspended from school,
Mm-hmm.
acting out behavior,
Yeah.
running away,
Mm-hmm.
and at that time, well, let me press rewind, as I've tried to be, just try to cushion it, but I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
Um, how can I say? Mm. My mother was very abusive towards me when it came
Okay.
to discipline.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She wouldn't just be like, I'm just finna beat you.
Yeah.
But in moments where she would, it was extreme.
Okay.
To my child like mine.
Okay. Okay.
Very extreme.
Yeah.
As I'm a grown woman today, I look at it as it was unnecessary. Some of those times you could have talked to me and said, "Hey, this is not okay.
Yeah.
Let's discuss this." But I suppose in her rearing and growing up, that is what she learned.
Yeah.
So
I'm
this is
glad you
what she
touched on
began
that.
to administer
Yeah.
upon me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, it was brutal. It was very brutal. And if I get emotional, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
At a time when I needed her to love me in a way that, thank you, that I thought was appropriate. She could not give that to me.
Yeah.
And so what I began to learn that our only intimacy were those beatings.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Those were the only times when we were alone with each other in the presence of each other. And I never had a time when it was just me and her,
Yeah.
So that became my formulation of intimacy.
Yeah.
So this is what intimacy looks like.
Wow.
You love me, but you beat me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You love me, but you isolate me in this room as punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that began to create a wound in me.
Yeah.
That would later in my adult life completely manifest itself.
Yeah.
But of course, in our culture, we don't know these things. You don't know these things until, it takes the process that it must.
Right.
So and then at the same token, I have this pain and this hurt, but this is someone I love with everything in me,
I do.
And I don't want to shine a bad light on her.
Yes.